Okay. Project day. Today, we are going to make something awesome. What we're going to make is called a swarm trap. And a swarm trap is used for catching wild bees. What you do is you build a box that would make a perfect home. You bait it with either old comb, lemongrass, essential oil, and you place it out somewhere so you would attract a wild swarm, and that way you can catch that swarm. Okay, so as you may or may not know, we use the top bar swarm method, or top bar hive is what we make. We use the top bar. My hives are top bar hives, also known as Kenya hives, which were developed for Kenya in Africa so that they would stop doing their old way of beekeeping, and what they would do is they would basically let the hive build and get the hive at the end of the season and destroy the hive and get the honey out. That's how they used to do it. That's how the traditional way in Africa is to do it. This, in a sense, has created the Africanized bee. The Africanized bee is a smaller bee, as far as I know. Now, I'm not an expert on bees, so if I get any of this wrong, well, sorry. This is just what I've learned to this point. Okay, this is the knowledge to my point. Anyway, how I'm going to build my box is it's going to look like this. It's going to be like this, like this, like this, like this, out like this, and this is the top. So this is what my box is going to look like. So my end piece is going to look like this. Nine and a quarter inches by, and this is going to be 20 inches, and this is going to be 9.5 inches tall. Because I'm not using 2x pins, but I still want to match. And the reason why I want it to match is because whenever the bees start building their nest in here, I'll be able to actually just transfer the bar into another permanent home for them, and I can make new bars that go on the top. This will all make sense when I get this built. Okay, let's get started. Get at least 20 inches wide. That'll be good for one. This will work for my other side. 20.25 inches. I had a better idea. Let's use the table saw. actually found my earmuffs without the assistance of my wife. Today is a good day. I love these quick attachments. Okay, so this is our end piece. This is going to be one of the ends. It's 20 1/4 inches on this end. And the smaller end is 9 1/4 inches. That gives us roughly a 30-degree angle here. And what happens is there are bars that lay across on the top of it like this. And this is where the bees build onto. So the cones will come down like this. And the reason why you have this angle is you want to set this angle at a good angle so that they don't want to attach. In other words, they're just going to build their comb like this, and you'll be able to remove and inspect the comb like this. I'll show you on some of my other hives here in a little bit, maybe. Okay, so this is going to be our next piece for the other end. Only managed to get one splinter. So this is one of our top bars that I made. As you can see, this I have a string that runs across here, and there's some molted wax. This really didn't work out too well for me. In the future, I'm going to try something a little different, but this is a way of doing it where you can get your your string wet in wax and just kind of get it in the center here. And what happens is, when this is sitting in there like this, the bees will start building their comb on here, and it will hang down, and it'll be shaped like this. If you notice, this top bar design is real wide and shallow, and the reason why that is so that there's actually a lot of foundation here that the bees can build on, so the cone has a massive attachment on the top here, because these get really heavy. And if you wish to make this a lot deeper and shorter, so if you made it shorter and deeper, more of a square, sorry, another splinter. Anyway, if you wish to make this deeper and shallower, the comb would be more like this. But that's not as much structural strength up at the top. There's a lot of foundation for them to build on, so it's going to be stronger doing it shallow versus doing it deep. I've seen some top bar designs that are like that, and especially if you're in in an area where it gets real hot, you don't want that, because that wax gets hot, get loose, and the comb can actually collapse inside the... Let's take a walk out to the bee yard. I'm gonna get some measurements, figure out the length I want to make the swarm trap that we're building. Alright, so this is our bee yard here. Okay, so here's our bees. Check them out. Okay, so this is what I was talking about, how the top bar works. And this is that string that I put to get a starter, to get them started. And that's basically how they build. You know, it's a few squish girls, unfortunately. Anyway, so that's why you make it shallow and wide. So you get a lot of support at the top, because when this is full of honey, it's pretty heavy, pretty heavy. Check this one out. They got a little pass, this little hole they can pass through. Pretty cool, huh? See these? This is the hive that didn't make it that last year. Didn't make it through winter. And if you can tell, if you can see here, right here, see that? That's a bee that's inside, hanging out, that died. See these right here? So pretty much what happened is they didn't have enough honey and food, and they basically starved to death. And I think I have an idea of why this front hive didn't make it and the back hive did make it. And the reason why I think that is because this one is set forward and there's some trees that are right here, and I believe this front one was in the shade too much and didn't get enough sun. Therefore they had to have more food to get it through winter, because they eat the food and then they use that energy to keep themselves warm and keep the queen warm. And they just ran out of food. Well, the back one did fine. The front one did not. And actually, at the end of last year, this front one here, it was much more. It was a lot more of a strong hive than the back one. And for the back one to make it, I was expecting the back one probably wouldn't make it. I didn't know. This is the first time I've ever done this. But by losing this hive, I actually learned a lot. And one of the things that I've learned, or a theory that I have, is all based on the design of this top bar hive. I think it's an awesome design. I do not think it's good for cold climates. Not that we're really a super cold climate here, but I have ideas to make it better, and I will introduce them in future episodes of my bee adventure, or whatever I want to call this. And I got my measurement. Let's get started finishing my swarm trap. 17 inches. I'm using some old wood from pallets. Bees prefer older wood than they do new wood for some reason. I don't know. I think they're just into the rustic thing. Whatever, it's cheap. Okay, I got most of the pieces cut, so let's go inside. Shade. So this is the bee entrance right here. It's about 1.25 inch hole. That's what that is. This is what would be on the actual hive, about the size. And the reason why there's a different size is because this being a swarm trap, I just want to be able to, the bees to easily find the hole and get into the hole and all that stuff. Where on the actual hive, I want a smaller hole, so it's easier for them to defend. Okay, there you go. That'll keep any birds out. I've got the swarm trap complete, including a open house sign. I just need to, and this is where the tops will go, and about 12 of them will fit here, and that will form the top. And then I'll have another piece of, I'll make another piece of plywood here, cut another piece to set it on top and strap it down for a lid, so none of it goes anywhere. But that's pretty much it. And I'll use some of that. I'll use some of them top bars that have the cone on it from the old hive from last year, the one that didn't make it. All right. So now. Alright, so here's the finished hive swarm trap. We just strapped it down so you can easily take it off. So whenever you get one moved in, all you do is in the evening is you cover this up so they won't escape, and you can move it. Like I said, I've baited it a little bit, put a little bit of beeswax in the front, and then I have 2 combs on the inside. This is facing a little bit to the southeast, so that when the morning sun comes up, it'll strike it, and then it's protected from the west by these trees, so that will help the wind and stuff. I'm trying to be as protected from the wind as possible, because we get a lot of wind out here. So that's that. And now we just see if we catch anything. I'll come out here and check it every few days, once a week, see if I have any bees moving in. And again, I put these to keep the birds out so we don't have a bird's nest, or bats, or anything else.
Chipmunks.
Or chipmunks.